In some shocking news concerning the U.S. presidential race in 2016, Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders is suddenly not on the ballot in Washington, D.C. The Democratic Party apparently filed its papers one day too late, by accident, if you believe that, and of course the Sanders camp is upset. It is no secret that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the chairwoman of the Democratic National Party, is in the tank already for Hillary Clinton. She has been promised a position in Clinton's cabinet should she win the nomination. What has happened, this stunt by the Democratic National Party, is inexcusable. It doesn't matter who the candidate is. In this case, it is Bernie Sanders. You can probably count on one hand the number of times that the Democratic National Party has made a mistake like this. The fact is they don't want Sanders to win the election, and yet polls show that most American voters would choose Sanders over Hillary as well as Donald Trump in a national election. So go figure. Speaking of the presidential contest in 2016, Republican frontrunner, billionaire Donald Trump, is doing what he does best, opening his mouth and inserting his foot. In his latest controversial remarks, which are going to cost him to lose voters this time, Trump said that not only is he against abortion, but that he would penalize women if they got one. Can you imagine that, folks? Talk about backwards Stone Age thinking. Abortion, right or wrong, is legal in the United States. For people to try to undo a constitutional decision that was made by the U.S. Supreme Court is morally wrong. There are religious groups, of course, that are against abortion under any circumstances. Believe it or not, even in cases of rape or incest. We must always separate religion from state in a truly secular democratic society. But you can't tell religious nuts and extremists this fact. What Trump said is inexcusable, and he deserves to lose the support of voters because of it. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is going to be interviewed by the head of the FBI, it seems, according to reports coming from Al Jazeera. The U.S. Justice Department and its lawyers have now finished their analysis of recovered emails that Hillary had deliberately made a point to erase on her server. The question now becomes, did she break any laws? What laws did she break, if any, and can she be prosecuted for doing so? It'll be interesting to see what the director of the FBI thinks after he speaks to Hillary Clinton. Microsoft's new artificially intelligent bot has been a huge disaster for the company. Now Microsoft is trying to test a new so-called artificially intelligent bot. It has failed the test. While it's no longer praising Adolf Hitler and condoning the Holocaust, it is now advocating that people do drugs like smoke marijuana. Microsoft clearly needs to go back to the drawing board and either forget about AI entirely or get programmers that know what they're doing. The whole issue of artificial intelligence is way overhyped, thanks in no small part to a vastly ignorant media. Predictably, the so-called agreement with Turkey by the European Union to, quote, stem the flow of refugees into Europe, unquote, via Turkey's cooperation is failing. Not only do the numbers keep increasing as far as illegal immigrants or war refugees trickling, or flooding rather, into Greece, Turkey is not holding up its end of the bargain. People who think critically would know that Turkey would never do such a thing anyway. It's Turkey. Turkey's autocratic leader, who is very sensitive to criticism and is very thin-skinned, he's also sexist, is due to meet American President Barack Obama. Word from insiders in Washington, including in the State Department, have made it clear that Obama intends to read Erdogan the Riot Act. Whether it will make any difference or not remains to be seen. It is highly doubtful. After all, he is Recep Tayyip Erdogan, a wannabe dictator who runs Turkey.